I'd like to welcome all of you to the quarterly community call for alternative payments. Um, I am very excited because today I have not one, but two special guests joining me. So, first, I would like to give a nice warm welcome to Baxter, our CEO. Welcome back.
Yes. Good to be here.
And then next, I'd like to introduce you guys to Nicholas Reimer, right?
That's right, Steve.
I should have confirmed that. I'm sorry, man.
No problem at all. Nicholas Reimer, I'm the new partnerships manager, and I'll be jumping in at the end to chat about our new referral program updates.
Wonderful. Well, you guys know the drill. We're going to show you some cool new stuff that we've developed over the last quarter or so, as well as some things that we've got planned for the next 3 or so months. We'll also run a few polls just to see what you're interested in because we can't do this without you. But with that, I would love to pass it over to Baxter because I think he is excited to present to you guys.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, Steve. And appreciate everybody's time on this Wednesday afternoon or afternoon for me on the East Coast. But listen, really excited to be here. I think a couple things that I want to kind of nip in the bud at the beginning. The team is growing quickly. We'll cover some metrics and stats around team growth at the business. But yeah, if you've dialed in for the last series of quarterly calls, this slide continues to expand. And we also are growing, and we have 2 offers out to 2 additional people in customer support and success. So that's amazing. Listen, we're investing in success and we're investing in support really to support you all and make sure that you're getting the best experience from a software product and from a company and vendor as you can get. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about achievements, product highlights, product roadmap, and then Q&A. We want to make this as conversational as possible. So as you have questions, just jump in, right? Use the chat functionality, ping us, and just let us know if there are other things that you want us to talk about. We're going to try to keep today's session to about 30 minutes. Obviously understand that your guys' time is precious and want to be respectful of your time. So quickly, Q2 was an exciting quarter for the business. We achieved a lot. We grew a tremendous amount, and there are a few highlights that I just wanted to hit on. First is we were a finalist for the CRN Best of Channel Awards, which is exciting. This is the first nomination that we received from the channel company, and obviously it's just indicative of the continued movement and motion within the channel that we're making. Second, we ran our full functioning NPS score, and the results were incredible, right? I mean, we scored 73 from an NPS perspective, which is really best in class. And again, that hopefully goes to show, what we've built in the market and what we are continuing to build. From a business perspective, we continue to win new partners, we continue to grow our processing volume, and that's great. From an NPS perspective, right, I think you can see on the left-hand side of the page, generally what we're seeing from an average perspective in the market is MSP vendors are pretty low on this scale. Financial services companies and SaaS companies are pretty low. And we're able to really outperform. We're really able to outperform really from this team, right? And so again, we're investing heavily in support. We don't really believe of ourselves as really a software company. It's really support plus software that provides you all the best experience. And simultaneously, that kind of is a great segue for what we've launched in Q2 and in early Q3. So the first big launch for us is in the syncing tool, right? This allows you to sync information from ConnectWise to QBO. There are currently obviously a lot of gaps in terms of this functionality within the marketplace. There are a handful of companies that have supported this functionality historically, and we are now supporting this functionality and also will be continuing to deploy it across additional PSAs and additional accounting software. This problem is not just between ConnectWise and QBO, right? It's beyond those PSAs and those accounting packages. And, there's still, I think, a lot to build in this category, right? In terms of different quantity and different items and taxes, and making sure that your setup is in line with what you would anticipate and expect. But we're working very closely, I think, with many of you to ensure that this product really solves all your needs. This is a really, really exciting product for us because it really allows us to help you with the broader financial automation stack and broader financial operations for your business specifically, right? So as you think about us growing from a vendor perspective, not only do we want to grow in terms of the support and customer success that we provide you, but also new tooling to streamline reconciliation, to streamline invoice syncing, to streamline the manual processes that your finance teams currently manually do. The second key piece here is APIs, and more specifically the hosted checkout API.
Hey, Baxter, I'm sorry, are we supposed to be seeing different slides? Because I just still see the Q2 achievements and initiatives slide.
Oh, helpful. Let me just try to reshare and maybe it'll. Give me 1 second. That's weird. What about now? Oh, there we go. Now I see it.
Yeah.
Thanks for flagging that, Steve.
Yes, sir.
So this was the syncing tool release that I just discussed and described. Second is the API functionality, right? So, from a business perspective, we see a lot of companies that are getting paid in all sorts of different ways, right? Portion of your business may be online payments via alternative payments. A portion of your business may be checks. A portion of your business may be point of sale, right? When you're in the field and you provide a service. A portion of your business may be online and kind of a more e-commerce experience. And what we want to do is we want to help you with all these different segments of your business and ensure that you're utilizing one aggregated payment solution for all of these different iterations. So hosted checkout API really helps with this, right? Because this allows you to control the experience for your clients and offer your clients many different ways to pay. So a lot of customers are utilizing this attached to quotes today, right? So customer logs in, they approve a quote, they're redirected to this hosted checkout API, which allows them to transact very seamlessly. Some people are utilizing this in terms of like an e-commerce experience. So if you offer packages of hours or services on your website, they can click and they can check out utilizing this hosted checkout API. So there are multiple kind of components and use cases here, but at the end of the day, right, for us, it's all about adoption. How do you maximize and optimize the adoption that you're seeing within alternative payments, and ensuring that we are helping you from a support and success perspective to get to 100% of your revenue? I think, all too often in the market, when we are talking to clients and prospective clients, many people will raise their hand and they'll say, hey, Baxter, we're utilizing an online solution, but it's not working very well. We're at 10%, 15% adoption, and the other 85% of our customers are paying via check. These types of additional solutions will help drive adoption, as well as obviously with our customer support success team, easy to use software packages. And that's really, really critical for the success of our business and really how we, help you guys be more successful within this finance area within your own businesses. The kind of third big release this past quarter is partner initiated refunds. So, this saved you a ton of time. This actually saved us a ton of time. I was actually looking at the metrics on this a little bit ago. I think it was like 3 months ago. In 1 month, we had a couple hundred funds, which previously, as many of you know, we processed manually. Now, with a click of a button, you can process a refund attached to any invoice. Right now, those are just full 100% refunds. But soon enough, there'll be partial refunds as well, right? So if it's a $1,000 invoice and you want to refund $800, that obviously reduces all communication back and forth with us. That allows you to self-serve and solve your customer's issue immediately, and streamlines all the inefficiency for that component of your business. So again, it seems kind of subtle and little, but if you look at the actual time it takes to process this in a manual way, it streamlines it. Similarly, the reason why we want to drive all this adoption to online payments is because then it also allows the downstream impact to be much more valuable. So now, if you receive a check payment and you want to issue a refund for that check payment, how challenging and arduous is that process for you and your business? If that's an online payment, now you've received a payment, now you want a refund. Okay, it's one click of a button to get your client back his or her money. And again, that streamlines the financial operations, that streamlines any manual time that you're spent in this area, and just optimizes for your business and your needs. The other thing that I want to introduce here is the referral dashboard, which probably many of you guys have seen different emails from us or emails from Nicholas, but I'll pass the mic over to Nicholas to introduce the referral dashboard.
Yeah, thanks, Baxter. And hello, everyone. I know there's a couple faces that I recognize, so pleasure to see you there. But yeah, we've made this big kind of improvement to the referral program as a whole over what we used to be doing. The big piece there, of course, is that there's a new rev share that's been kind of updated quite significantly. And so now any introduction you make for someone that becomes a successful customer of ours, you get to partake in a 10% revenue share of that person's subscription for full perpetuity. So, people don't often change their payment providers on a regular basis. And so we see this as a really great kind of long-term revenue stream that MSPs can bring on board for themselves. We're also kind of expanding the approach to it, where in the past it was mostly used by people to introduce us to their peers, which of course we still want to promote and encourage. Now we actually see a lot of people using it to introduce us to their end customers. There's this obviously very unique relationship between MSPs and their customers where there's a lot of trust, and those customers are very open to kind of being suggested or being encouraged to get one way or another. And so for folks that have customers that have really kind of clunky accounts receivable processes, or maybe they deal with a lot of checks, or maybe they have something that's not PCI compliant, somebody's writing credit card info on a notebook inside the office, all those different situations make for a really great opportunity to introduce them to us, because we can kind of help with all those things, save them money on their processing, speed up their cash flow, and kind of deliver all the results that we've built out in the MSP space for them as well. And so, that's a really great opportunity to kind of not only build trust with your customers further, but also create a new revenue stream that will pay out well into the future, kind of quarter over quarter. Now, this whole program is now accessible through a really great new dashboard that you'll see within the platform. It's on the bottom left-hand corner. It's called kind of the referrals tab. And from there, you can manage everything you need to be able to send out new referrals to people, manage your payouts so that you can kind of see the revenue that you're bringing in, and kind of all the other details related to this new program. Now, I'd love the chance to kind of meet with anybody who wants to learn more about this. My partnerships team has all sorts of other things going on, promoting this program and others. So, would certainly love the chance to just kind of get to know you and chat more about partnerships as a whole and exactly what this referral kind of motion is possible to deliver. On the next slide here is my QR code. This goes to my calendar. Steve also popped my link into the chat. And so, would love the chance to chat and sit down. And I will also follow up over email as well after this kind of webinar. But that's the dashboard on the whole. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Hopefully you get the sense that I'm a friendly guy and, always open to chat.
Thanks, Nicholas. The two things that I'll just add on, right? We built this product from the ground up. We built the product from the ground up because as MSPs continue to advocate for their clients, as MSPs continue to be the place to go for any technological advice and service that their clients have, as MSPs, become this managed intelligence platform that Pax8 seemingly has coined in recent months, it is critical for them to be able to refer, be able to manage, be able to see the trend and see their success. And the great thing about this platform is you not only can refer easily, but you can also track payouts in a very, very seamless fashion, which again helps with reconciliation, helps with transparency, helps with automation. So it's really just a click of a button away. We've received a lot of feedback, interestingly enough, from a handful of customers and prospective customers around being able to offer this to them because they thought it was so seamless and simple. We haven't figured out a way to white label it easily, but that's down the road. We'll add that to the list. Couple things, right? As we continue to build, there's a lot to build. And, one thing that I love about MSPs is just they are so transparent and forward in terms of what they want us to build, right? I go to a lot of conferences, and I'm sure I've seen many of you. If I haven't, please stop by and, tap me on the shoulder. But I love to figure out and learn, what is it that we're missing? What is it that we can improve? Our business does not stop at 6 p.m. It does not stop on Fridays. We work incessantly to try to figure out how to build the best product, how to build the best business, how to build the best customer relationships. All of these are near and dear to my heart within alternative payments. And we just wanted to highlight a handful of things that I think will change the game in the coming future for you guys. The first is AI Insights. We've released a beta version of AI Insights about a year ago. We kind of put it on the back burner because there was a bunch of different infrastructure items that we wanted to improve and build in advance of really what this release looks like. This release is coming to a head of what a chatbot functionality looks like. Right. So you want to interact with your data, you want to receive insights, you want to receive advice, what's working for your business, what's not working for your business. Are a lot of customers on auto pay? Have your processing fees increase, decrease? All of these analytics will be at the forefront to how you then run your business. And we want to provide you those analytics and the platform to get those analytics. And so we're working tirelessly on basically AI Insights 2.0, which is a chatbot functionality, which allows you to interact with your data in a much more seamless fashion. This, I think, will be game changing within this industry. A product like this doesn't exist today in the market, and will really, really help you operationalize and run the finances of your business. Super excited for what this can contribute and how this can help you all. Second item, custom rules, right? This has been on our to-do list for a while. We are building it in case anybody had doubts in our ability to deliver. But this really allows you to more effectively manage the team members within your team. So if you think about, hey, I have a member who just wants read access of insights or of reporting or of this or of that, that's really, really critical. And you control all the functionality in here. Right now, I think we have 4 users that are just default users. You can't customize them. You can't control them. This feature really, really allows you to do so. Been on our to-do list for a while, and we're getting to it here shortly. The third piece, which is super exciting and also has the ability to drive a ton of online payment adoption, is custom emails and audiences. So we released this tags functionality and feature, which a lot of people are utilizing, right? They're categorizing their customers into different buckets and saying, all right, Nick is a fast payer, Steve is a fast payer, Joe is a slow payer. I want to craft and run different playbooks based off of those attributes of those customers. or these people are on auto pay, these people are not on auto pay, these people pay via check, these people pay via cash. All these different attributes and tags associated with customers will then allow you to run these playbooks, right? And email cadences and communication based off of them. And so this custom emails and audiences allows you to run those playbooks. So if I know Nick is a fast payer, I can tag him into the fast payer list and then run an email cadence that is not as frequent as my slow payers who I want to actually ping every single day for a series of steps. This obviously just allows you to accelerate online payment adoption. And if you look at our business and you look at, a customer who's been on our platform for 3 months, typically averages about 50% online payment adoption. When you're on our platform for 12 months, you get up to the 75 to 80% range. And all of these kind of advanced functionalities really drive that adoption. And we obviously want to provide you this tooling to drive that adoption. So super stoked about what this can generate and the engagement from a customer perspective. The next iteration of this tied to insights is, based off open sequences and based off success of some of these campaigns, again, providing you that advice and that feedback loop of what you're doing well and what you're not doing well. And so that's, kind of a critical next step component here. I can go through, some of the total deployments. This is just a sub-segment. But what I really wanted to do was hopefully just open it up for Q&A and questions and feedback. If anybody, wants to connect on specific features or functionality or the syncing tool, happy to do so. As I mentioned, I wanted to keep this to 30 minutes totally. So we're at the 25-minute marker, but really, really appreciate everybody's time.
All right, I see one question, Baxter. Is it possible to receive checks directly into alternative payments instead of QuickBooks? That way, I can gain additional metrics.
Yeah. So right now, we mark those check payments as basically an external payment, right? So those get marked and synced within QuickBooks, which then syncs into our platform as an external payment. You can then track that within our platform, not from a time to pay perspective, right? We don't run analytics on all of it. So that's one area. The second area, if you're looking for it and other customers have asked for it, but we've been hesitant to do anything about it, is lockbox capabilities, right? So we could offer a lockbox to our clients. So instead of you sending your mailbox to receive checks, you would send a mailbox that we would provide you, and all those checks would then get received in that mailbox. We would have a team that would cash those checks on your behalf. That is a product functionality that some people have asked us for. We haven't built it because it seems kind of like the minority of customers, but happy to communicate and chat with you offline, Jeremy, if that would be something that you or others would be interested in. The challenge that I personally have with it is then we're helping people stick with checks as opposed to not offering a product like that, which hopefully drives additional online adoption. But again, depending on the business type, I mean, we have some customers who receive like 1,500 to 2,000 checks a month that they're processing internally. On ConnectWise syncing, Jason, I would just reach out to your customer support rep. If you don't know who that is, we'll just take a note and we'll get in touch with you and make sure that they reach out regarding the ConnectWise syncing solution.
And Baxter, just so you know, I did launch a poll earlier that said, if you're interested in CW Sync, let us know. So Jason, if you said yes to that one, then we can get you squared away real quickly. Gary, thank you very much for the kind words. And then just so you all know, I did launch one last poll. It's a product feature request poll. If you have any features that you would desperately, or maybe not even desperately, it would just be nice to have, pop that idea into the poll. And then if you haven't checked it out yet, we also have a website dedicated to a roadmap, product features, product updates. I'm going to put that here into the chat while Baxter answers this question about getting payment syncing added as well.
Yeah, Jeremy, we're on it. It's going to be in Q4, hopefully earlier in Q4. I was just looking at a roadmap on it, but payment syncing is critical on the two-way sync, right? So if you mark an invoice as paid in QuickBooks Online, making sure that it comes back to CW just so that all invoices are up to date. So that's something that's certainly on our roadmap and will be deployed here shortly.
Thanks.
With that, I think, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to email me directly. I'll put my email here just in case anybody doesn't have it. Baxter Alternative Payments.io, and my cell phone number is 917-744-6597. But feel free to reach out, to me or to Nicholas, to Steve, to anybody else on your team. We really love the feedback. Anybody who comes up to me and says, "Hey, I don't really have any feedback," I try to push them harder to provide us feedback, because again, it's so critical for our business to be building something that really relates to what you guys really want to see and what's urgent for all of your needs. And you help us deploy our roadmap and help us with our roadmap day in and day out, month in and month out. Very, very excited to continue to support you all on this journey. And thank you so much for joining, and really appreciate all the support.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Have a great day, guys. See ya.
Take care.